Was there anyone in that conversation who, in your observation, had too much to drink?
Like Rudy Giuliani.
Tell me more about that. What was your observation about his potential intoxication during that discussion about what the president should say when he's addressed the nation on election night?
And the mayor was definitely intoxicated, but I do not know that his level of intoxication when he spoke with the president, for example.
Were you part of any discussions with the people I mentioned, Mr. Steffi and Mr. Meadows, or anyone else, about whether the president should make any sort of speech on election night?
I mean, I spoke to the president. They may have been present, but President spoke to the president several times that night.
There were suggestions by, I believe it was Mayor Giuliani, to go and declare victory and say that we'd won it outright.
You will also hear testimony that President Trump rejected the advice of his campaign experts on election night and instead followed the course recommended by an apparently inebriated Rudy Giuliani.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and at yesterday's hearing we found out an interesting tidbit about election night. It seems out of all of Trump's advisors, his most trusted confidant was good old inebriated Rudy Giuliani, which must be a sight indeed, because sober Rudy Giuliani inspires something less than confidence. The guy has become a rambling lunatic, barely coherent in his best moments, and his worst moments are the things of pure infamy.
The only top Trump aide willing to go along with election lies was this now disbarred lawyer, Giuliani, who aides said could not stay sober on the biggest work night of an entire campaign, which is election night.
Getting duped by Borat, the Four Seasons Landscaping Company, hair dye from hell, this washed-up incompetent clown show is the kind of lawyer a crooked court would appoint to you when you want to make damn sure you lose. Imagine all that mess, fully intoxicated, and that's who Donald Trump chooses as his voice of reason. Wow. And this is who MAGA land thinks should be making our country's most critical decisions.
Big truck bringing in 100,000 ballots in garbage cans, in waste paper baskets, in cardboard boxes, and in shopping baskets. And every single one of them was provided because they were being notified by Smartmatic in Frankfurt that Biden was way behind, and they better come up with a lot more ballots, and we can prove every single thing I just said. If you gave me the paper ballots, I could probably turn around each one of these states. I'm absolutely convinced if you let me examine each one of those ballots, I'd pull out enough that were fraudulent that it would shake the hell out of the country.
It's painfully obvious exactly what was going on election night. Trump, the clinical narcissist as always, was looking for anybody who would coddle to his ridiculous lie to save face and make believe he didn't just lose bigly. With tears welling in his eyes, a poor little fascist was scanning the room for someone either imbecile or brown-nosed enough to hold his hand while he tried to pass off his big lie to the public. When no real advisors would play ball, good old scumbucket play-acting lawyer Giuliani rumbled in with gin on his breath and a bottle in his hand. This is what sane folks mean when we talk about the embarrassment of Donald Trump. I traveled to Europe recently, a continent not subject to the brainwashing right-wing American media, and every single one of those people stood in astonishment that any person could vote for Donald Trump. And far beyond that, how any adult human being can still support this criminal fascist after January 6th is so disgusting, it's simply beyond mention. This is what we're up against. It's not an argument. There is no logic to be applied. People who support Donald Trump worship him as a fascist father figure. They grovel before him, apologizing for every crooked deed he commits, and they parrot his mindless propaganda with their every word. These people are zombies. We can always hold out hope that something will change their minds, but right now all hope lies in the American justice system. Fraudsters have been convicted and sent away for decades on a tenth of the crimes Donald Trump is guilty of. And that's not even to mention his heinous acts of treason. But because he's gotten a billion-dollar industry of vile right-wing propaganda behind him, they're playing politics as a get-out-of-jail-free card. And that would be an abomination like no other if successful. It goes against everything this country was founded on, to establish a country without king, where no person can ever stand above the law. America herself is on trial during these January 6 hearings. Are we still the country of the Constitution, or are we subject to the whims of corrupt elitist politicians? The very thing these MAGA morons are so afraid of is the thing that they worship. That's the sad irony, and perhaps that's the thing the trial will reveal above all. Will America the Great, the nation that stands impenetrable against all attacks, fall from within because of pure ignorance? Nothing can be more embarrassing or heartbreaking than that. Sappers clear the way, airborne on the way.